Have you noticed that your child spends more and more time alone, avoiding social situations and preferring screens over real-life interactions? Maybe they used to enjoy playing with friends, participating in activities, or chatting with family, but now they seem distant, uninterested, or even irritated when asked to engage. It might seem like just a phase, but when social withdrawal becomes a habit, it can be a warning sign of deeper emotional struggles. Today, more children than ever are experiencing social isolation. Studies show that nearly 1 in 3 children reports feeling lonely, a number that has only increased with the rise of social media and digital entertainment replacing real-world connections. While spending time alone can be normal and even healthy, there's a difference between choosing solitude and avoiding social contact altogether. Unlike adults, children don't always express their emotions directly. Instead, they pull away, gradually skipping social events, staying in their rooms for hours, or losing interest in activities they once loved. It happens so slowly that parents often don't notice until the isolation is deeply ingrained. But the good news is that this cycle can be broken. With the right approach, parents can help their child reconnect, regain confidence, and build healthier social habits. To do that, we first need to understand why children withdraw in the first place. Children don't just wake up one day and decide to isolate themselves. Social withdrawal is usually a gradual process, influenced by a mix of emotions, experiences, and even external pressures. While every child is different, there are some common reasons why they start pulling away from social interactions. One of the biggest factors is anxiety. Many children struggle with social situations, worrying about what others think, fearing embarrassment, or feeling unsure of how to interact. Over time, avoiding these uncomfortable moments feels easier than facing them, and isolation becomes a habit. In some cases, this anxiety is linked to low self-esteem, where children feel they aren't interesting enough, funny enough, or good enough to be around others. Technology also plays a huge role. With endless entertainment at their fingertips, children no longer need to seek social interactions for stimulation. Video games, social media, and YouTube create a digital comfort zone where interactions are controlled, less risky, and don't require the emotional effort of real-life conversations. The problem is that these virtual interactions don't build real-world social skills, leaving children even more hesitant to engage face-to-face. For some, withdrawal is a response to emotional distress. Stress at school, bullying, or problems at home can make a child feel overwhelmed, leading them to retreat as a way to cope. Instead of expressing their feelings, they create distance, avoiding situations that feel draining or unpredictable. At first, these behaviors might seem harmless. A child who prefers to stay home rather than go to a birthday party, or one who plays video games alone instead of meeting friends, might not raise concerns. But when this pattern repeats itself, isolation can become self-reinforcing. The less they socialize, the harder it becomes to re-enter social situations. The danger is that long-term withdrawal can have serious emotional and psychological effects. Let's take a look at how prolonged isolation impacts a child's well-being and development. Every child has moments when they prefer to be alone. Some naturally enjoy solitude, while others might just need a break from socializing. But how do you know when time alone is healthy and when it's a sign of something deeper? One of the first things to notice is a shift in behavior. If your child used to enjoy spending time with friends, participating in activities, or talking with family, but now they avoid interactions and seem uninterested, it could be more than just a phase. A sudden or gradual withdrawal from social situations is often a red flag. Pay attention to excuses to avoid social events. If your child consistently refuses invitations, claims they're too tired or not in the mood, or suddenly loses interest in hobbies that once brought them joy, it might be a sign that socializing feels overwhelming. While occasional reluctance is normal, a pattern of avoidance can indicate emotional struggles. At first, social withdrawal might not seem like a big deal. Some kids are naturally more reserved, and everyone needs alone time now and then. But when isolation becomes a pattern, it can have serious consequences for a child's emotional and social development. One of the biggest risks is increased anxiety. The less a child interacts with others, the more uncomfortable social situations become. What starts as avoiding small interactions like answering a question in class or talking to a new friend can grow into full-blown social anxiety, making even basic conversations feel overwhelming. Over time, this creates a self-perpetuating cycle. The more they avoid, the harder it becomes to engage. Isolation also has a deep impact on self-esteem. When children spend too much time alone, they miss out on the feedback and positive reinforcement that come from social interactions. They may start to believe that they don't belong, that they aren't interesting, or that others simply don't want to be around them. This feeling of disconnection can lead to negative self-perception, making it even harder to step back into social situations. Another major concern is the link between social withdrawal and mental health struggles. Studies show that prolonged isolation can increase the risk of depression, loneliness, and emotional distress. Without strong social connections, children may struggle to process their emotions, leading to increased frustration, sadness, or feelings of emptiness. Beyond emotional health, isolation affects social skill development. Social interaction is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it gets. When children withdraw, they miss out on key experiences that teach them how to read social cues, navigate conflicts, and build relationships. Later in life, this can make friendships, teamwork, and even professional relationships more challenging. The good news is that these effects aren't permanent. With the right support, children can rebuild their confidence and reconnect with the world around them. The key is recognizing the warning signs early, so let's look at how parents can tell when social withdrawal is becoming a real concern. Changes in mood and self-esteem are also important. Children who isolate themselves often experience increased irritability, sadness, or frustration. They may become more sensitive to criticism, express self-doubt, or frequently say things like, "No one likes me," or "I'm just not good at making friends." These thoughts, if left unchecked, can reinforce negative self-perceptions, making it even harder for them to re-engage socially. Another clue is an overdependence on screens. Many children who struggle socially turn to video games, social media, or YouTube as a substitute for real-world interaction. While technology isn't inherently bad, it can become a way to avoid face-to-face communication, making real-world socializing feel even more intimidating. Finally, look at the bigger picture. If your child's withdrawal is affecting their school performance, emotional well-being, or relationships at home, it's time to step in. The good news is that with the right approach, parents can help children rebuild their confidence and re-enter social situations at their own pace. Let's talk about how you can support your child in reconnecting and feeling comfortable in social settings again. Helping a child break out of social withdrawal isn't about forcing them into uncomfortable situations, it's about guiding them back into connections at their own pace. The goal is to create an environment where socializing feels safe, enjoyable, and rewarding, rather than stressful or overwhelming. One of the first steps is validating their feelings. If a child feels pressured or judged for not socializing, they're more likely to withdraw further. Instead of saying, "Why don't you just talk to people?" try, "I've noticed you've been spending more time alone. Do you feel more comfortable that way, or is something bothering you?" This opens up space for a conversation rather than making them feel like something is wrong with them. Once they feel understood, help them rebuild social habits in small steps. If large gatherings feel overwhelming, start with one-on-one interactions, a short playdate with a trusted friend, a simple family outing, or even a phone call with a relative. The idea is to ease them into social settings without pressure, letting them regain confidence gradually. Balancing online and offline time is also key. If screens have become their main source of interaction, it helps to introduce alternative activities that still feel fun and engaging. Board games, outdoor activities, creative projects, or even cooking together can provide low-pressure ways to interact without the social anxiety of traditional conversations. Encouraging structured social opportunities can also make a difference. Group activities like sports, clubs, or hobby-based meetups offer natural ways to socialize without forced interactions. When children engage in activities they enjoy, the focus shifts from social pressure to shared interests, making connections happen more organically. Most importantly, be patient. Social skills are like a muscle. The less they're used, the weaker they get, but with practice, they can always be rebuilt. Celebrate small progress, whether it's saying hello to a classmate, joining a conversation at dinner, or agreeing to go to a social event for a short time. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a sign that they're learning to feel comfortable again. Helping a child reconnect socially isn't about changing who they are, it's about giving them the confidence and tools to engage with the world in a way that feels right for them. Now, let's wrap up with a few key takeaways and a final challenge for parents. Social withdrawal can be easy to overlook at first, but when left unchecked, it can have a lasting impact on a child's emotional well-being. The good news is that, with the right support, children can rebuild their confidence, reconnect with others, and develop healthy social habits all at their own pace. Let's quickly recap the key points. Children withdraw for many reasons, whether it's anxiety, low self-esteem, emotional distress, or even an over-reliance on technology. While occasional solitude is normal, persistent isolation can lead to increased anxiety, reduced self-esteem, and difficulty forming relationships later in life. Recognizing the warning signs early, such as a loss of interest in social activities, frequent excuses to avoid interactions, increased screen dependency, and emotional shifts, is the first step in helping them. As parents, the best way to support your child is to validate their feelings, offer gentle encouragement, and create low-pressure opportunities for connection. Whether it's starting with one-on-one interactions, introducing structured activities, or simply spending more time together in a relaxed way, every small step helps them regain social confidence. Now, here's a challenge. Over the next week, try one of these strategies with your child. Pay attention to how they respond and look for small signs of progress. Maybe they open up more, agree to a social activity, or simply seem more comfortable engaging. Whatever it is, celebrate those moments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Child Mind Health for more expert-backed parenting insights. Hit the notification bell so you never miss important content that can help your child navigate the challenges of growing up in a digital world. Together, we can help children build stronger connections and feel more confident in the world around them.